Keep Fear Games.
What's scary though is the fact that
it went down that much.
it went down, and then on top of that, like, what's crazy is right now I'm paying my credit card for the first time in months, like, but the bills just keep stacking, so it's not like it's really paid off.
Quit cutting your leg in half. Quit cutting your leg in half.
I know, right? Well, I texted my brother and I was like, dude, I'm scared to buy this thing. And he was like, why? And I was like, because I feel like the second I make the payment, I'm going to get hit by a car. Like, it's the first time I've actually been financially stable, maybe ever. I don't know.
Alright.
Just hardcore.
I'm doing. No joke. Alright, let's play some D&D.
Let's do it.
So welcome everybody. I'm Brad. This is our secret or Ghosts of Salt Marsh campaign. And our heroes last left off unveiling a double cross among the lizard folk and finding out that the queen of the lizard folk is very handy with a two-handed sword.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Because our players face down the shaman,
That's alright.
Crazy? We're not doing crazy?
The stream's ratings about to go through the roof in some ways.
Haven't even watching yet? Nobody cares. It's fine.
Well, someone will tune in and watch from the beginning, maybe.
Maybe.
I like how fast it was. Wait a second. Nope, no one's here, no one cares. So helicopter officer services here. Do you have a PhD
In the back.
I just need to know how many spell slots I have.
You're
Is
welcome.
there,
Yeah. Two? Just two? Pretty sure.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
I don't think it goes up to like fifth level.
But you have.
No,
I don't.
Is there-
No? I did Firebolt instead.
what is your class?
Warlock.
Warlock? You're looking for spell slots?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like Brad is probably right because he knows everything.
Did
But
we move up levels again? Or 5? Maybe it's on my digital. Yeah, it's on my digital file. Alright, I've got work to do.
Well, that's true. You missed a session. Yeah.
remember that time when we all said
Last session was my first session.
Do you need a better handbook to level up?
I think so. I got a handbook here.
All right. Well, you guys want to go around and introduce yourself for anybody who
No.
tunes in?
too bad. Yeah, let's do it.
Anybody who, those of you who tune in and go back and click to the beginning.
Like loyal followers. Yeah, where are we starting?
We'll start with Dave and Tristan over here.
Introduce your characters.
That's it. I'm Tristan. I'm a Triton Templar. And my faithful sidekick, Chuck. Corrupted sailor. Took out us all.
You might want
Fun
to.
adventure.
You might want to say AWOL sailor,
AWOL sailor.
because corrupted sailor sounds a little.
True.
Yeah, but you know 6 spells.
Yeah. One fireball, one invisibility. That's it. That's all I'll say before.
Yeah.
I am Tyrannostraz, the Red Dragonborn Warlock, Hexblade Warlock.
That's cool.
I guess we'll jump around because they're busy leveling up Paul's character.
Alright. I am Salazar Slytherin. I am a beautiful, charismatic, jokey wizard. Technically, I'm a wild mage sorcerer, though. That's right. Not a wizard at all. But I'm really awesome. And I have a chicken named Nugget and a dog that hides in my pocket that we don't talk about because I never want anything bad to happen. So he's just hidden in there. That's it.
I am Eldrick,
The Dwarven.
I am a protector of all things vile.
Sorry.
And Mike, you want to introduce your character?
My character's name is Gargax. He's a Dragonborn barbarian. Other than that, not really smart. That's about as much as you can.
Runs away from battle all the time.
Well, that's right. I am not very fond. The character's not very fond of frogs.
Oh, the frogs!
Don't ask him why. It's just a
Very weird
irrational
choice
fear,
for a swamp.
like most fear.
My brother bullied me for like a frog in his thigh. And
Paul?
oh yeah. I'm Paul. My character's name is Stan. He's a half a pirate. I don't have any of my backstory. His friend's name. He doesn't know what he's doing anymore.
What was his friend's name?
Dead
I'll tell you
man.
what his name is now. In the ground. I'm pretty sure he's in the ground. I wasn't here when he died.
Definitely not in the ground.
He might be in the ocean.
He had a very unceremonious burial at sea.
That's one way of putting it.
I have a player on my head by someone I know. Somebody asked him what his character looks like. He's like, I don't know. That's background information. He's one of those guys who shows up to roll dice. And I
You can pretty much
appreciate
just
that.
put this one off to the side.
You never know when he wants to turn into a horse. You know, horses can be very agile at a swamp.
He's gonna be in the middle and they can see what they. You know what I'm gonna do? Yeah. I think I saw that in the movie once.
Oh, sad memories.
Train.
Overrated.
For someone to read the book. Willow.
Yes, that'll take it.
Is there a horse in the swamp?
No, for some odd reason, I'm just trying to think. You first went to Lord of the Rings and where
I can't remember what that horse was.
look at the swamp and stuff and what people in it, you never had to
Atreyu. Was it Atreyu? I thought the kid's name was Atreyu. Was the kid Atreyu? I don't remember.
It started with a C.
Artemis.
Just Google it. We have the entire knowledge of the human like.
Why try to remember stuff?
We live in an age of information where no one knows jack.
That's something we should definitely do. Is have an 80s themed, fantasy movie night.
Yeah.
Our close.
I know exactly where we can have it.
Yeah. With like never-ending story, legend, and Willow, like a triple feature.
You let me know when Neverending Story is over, and then I'll show up.
Willow is such a great movie.
Don't care.
Was Val Kilmer
The freaking unicorn dies in the swamp, and I'm done.
Matt Mardigan.
That's it.
Yeah.
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 When he's in the cage in the
Val-
beginning.
Val Kilmer when he was hot.
Yeah.
Is he not hot anymore?
No.
No, he's not real puffy. He's real puffy.
Something happened to him after Batman.
Yeah, he and Steven Seagal both kind of, they both look kind of alike now.
I don't think so. I think
Like older Steven Seagal and older Val Kilmer and older John Travolta, they all have that kind of like puffiness to them.
Can I just take a second to say that George Clooney was not hot until he was older? I'm going to put it out there.
That's true.
You know what? You're right.
Until the salt and pepper happened, I was like, no. And then I was like, whoa. Yeah, not a thing. Anyway.
Yeah, there's penetrative.
Don't even make me come up. I will end you.
Stream chat would like to talk with you. All three of them.
All three of us. Alright, so,
You stay away from my future husband.
Good look.
are you looking at Val Kilmer?
I'll tell you, you know who else to look up? Look up MacGyver, Richard D.
Oh no.
Terrible.
This is one of those like where are they now moments, and I don't want to know where they are.
Bad.
I don't want to find Waldo.
He looks like he ate another MacGyver.
I looked up Callista Flockhart last year and I was brokenhearted.
Wait, what was she in?
Ally McBeal.
Oh yeah.
Isn't she in Supergirl now?
She was for a while. She was the boss.
Yeah, she was the boss in Supergirl. I thought can still look good in that, but maybe that was mostly makeup.
Maybe. You know where they're shooting Halloween Kills right now?
Yeah.
Nope. Also in Ashley.
Oh yeah.
At the high school.
Yep. Well, I think Murray's in grade school because they were the ones closest to Veterans Park. Came out of my
That's what happens when you get old, man.
Yeah, like a week ago they were shooting in my neighborhood.
Really?
I saw the picture that WCC put up of them shooting down there. It looked like they put that big old sign in front of the Waffle House down there. I was like,
Yeah, they were shooting right down by the college. They were all like, "You hear gunshots when you're on campus."
Oh yeah, there was a
What a
thing in
perfect
the
time.
news.
Yeah, they turned the college into a hospital.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, because they had the training rooms there for the surgical school, the surge section.
Yep, they were asking for 100 extras.
I've been like watching some. I have a friend who works on the set, so like I would go to the studio and check out screen caps. I still haven't made it down there. I am not extending invitations on anyone's behalf.
But yeah, they were filming in the park in my neighborhood at nighttime. So I was just all my neighbors on that side of the street were complaining because they had these huge spotlights.
Yeah.
They had these huge spotlights that were on until 11:30 at night to light up the park because they were shooting all the like night scenes in the park.
I want to be an extra in a movie, but I just don't think it'll happen.
Just keep on sending. When movies come here, just keep sending. That's what I do.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
No, if it was a Halloween scene that they're shooting down there, because that's one of the things that they were asking for the extras was a lot of kids doing trick-or-treating. And I was just like, oh, I'll just put on my rifle and just walk through the street. They'd be like, who is that?
Yep. All right. So the group of you stand in the dining hall as the queen still stands atop the large oaken table with scattered lizard folk bodies, some of them decapitated, kind of heads rolling and bodies bleeding all over the floor, as the queen has slain about what appears to be 6 lizard folk betrayers. And Tristan had just informed the queen that the group of you had defeated the shaman. And he had also added the falsehood that the shaman was working with Galen Primewater, the once friend of Salazar.
Definitely not anymore.
It was Galen. It was all Galen.
We are frenemies at best.
So the queen points her bloody sword at the dragonborn and says, "Bring Primewater to me."
All right. I think there's been a mistake though, but I'll bring him. Oh, queen.
That sounded sarcastic. You should probably kill him.
Where is Primewater?
The guards hauled him off to the bed.
Okay. Well, I'll go get the guards.
So you exit to get the guards?
Yes. Yeah.
So she looks at the rest of you and says, "Well, I guess thanks are in order for defeating the shaman."
South
This is usually not how my dinners go.
Yeah.
She says, "Well, there's still some food on the table."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have some
about
elf on a
that.
stick.
He's trying to help on the stick.
She climbs down off the table and she looks at the group of you and says, "I guess we need to revisit our plan. Are you still on board for defeating the Sahun?"
As long as we take care of Primewater.
So what is your this prime water.
Tried to kill us. And tried to hurt my friend.
Yeah, I cough up more blood and I'm like, I'm still dying.
You see that? That's prime water's magic over there.
There was a water elemental, and by the way, your shaman sucks. Not a fan of this place. Tried to speak to him. Tried to get some logic into him. Then he tried to kill me. This is the way your people behave. I'm not a fan.
Well, when you rule
Absolutely mentally
this many creatures, there's always those who think that they can rise to power and challenge authority.
Now, Jonesy.
Well, he got what's coming to him, in my opinion. Oh, you were my favorite.
Alright, so the cleric kills Salazar, and she looks down at the cleric and says, maybe we have a new shaman around.
Yeah, except that you don't kill people. Well, except for game. Is the queen hurt?
I mean, she's wounded, but she's definitely trying to hide the fact that she's hurting.
Would you like me to heal you?
It would be welcome.
Who else is this?
Does anybody else in need of healing? Wait, does she have any loyal people left standing, or are they just not in this room?
There's not.
The queen gets 13.
Wow, I'm feeling a little less love now.
She has 13 hit points. She says, well done, Blue One.
Dom, do you want to double the 7 damage?
Maybe you will be able to stay in the court after. I need a healer who I can trust. Clearly, the last one was a tenuous relationship at best.
You didn't cut it.
She wipes the blood from her sword and says, this one's funny.
Yes, I.
She says, shall we adjourn to a cleaner room?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So she picks up a bell that still sits on the table, kind of knocked onto its side, and she rings it loudly. Some lizard folk servants scurry in. They don't. She doesn't even have to say anything to them. They know their job is to clean up. And she leads the group of you back to her throne room.
On the way there, can I ask her if we're gonna be served any food of any kind, or should I just start going into my rations?
Well, she said there was still food in there.
Yeah. I don't think that's the kind of food that non-lizard folk eat, per se. I really appreciate your hospitality, multiple lady, please, Your Honor, Your Excellency. Yeah. But I'm not sure. I wanted to curtsy instead of bowing. He doesn't know anything about how to handle this. You know, I'm
Don't
not
mind
questioning
him.
Your
It's
Excellency.
raised by some old guy in a cave.
Listen, it wasn't a cave, it was a
It's a
hovel.
long
I think a cave would be enough.
Yeah, it probably would.
I was trying to drink something.
He's in love with some lady that's old enough to be free.
Not his grandmother, maybe just his mother, okay? And I told you, she has aged like a fine wine. She's a beautiful woman.
Nothing wrong with a cougar.
Right? I like that.
What's that? The strings on the table.
Oh, Hokkaido! Hello, good evening. Hi. That's one of my followers.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine from Norway.
Welcome.
Yeah, he's awesome. Loves bulls. He's like a, in my mind. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are welcomed into the throne room once again, and the queen does answer you about, if your human stomach cannot handle the food, then feel free to eat whatever you want with you.
I kind of like flick my ears and I'm like, not entirely.
Apologies.
It's okay. I'm just letting you know. My kind are not as appreciated as maybe they should be, and I get the sense that you've experienced that kind of discrimination too.
That's true. So you are half elf.
I am. Yes. I have been hunted, I have been hated, and I have been chased. But I found friends among this band of... I look around and I'm like, special people. I can tell you, we'll fight for you. And we'll win. We're all gonna die.
All of us.
So I have to probably extra money.
So did any of the factions that were outside really don't have to surprise?
We have got to get
People like the mer people on the way in and all
I
that.
don't even know what accent.
Oh, they're still all up with mine.
He wanted to have like a male voice, and I was like, no, he's just very feminine. It's fine. Part of his charm. He's a large, surly-looking black man who sounds like a woman. It's great. But he's beautiful. Everyone loves him. We'll draw Sal, just so people know.
Like Terry Crews.
Very Terry Crews. He's very scary Terry. Sorry, I'm good now.
Not.
Terry Crews that shoots fireballs.
Yes. And carries puppies in his pocket.
I believe it from seeing something.
Like when he was playing all the music in spite of the
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll get through this.
All right, well, it's not long before.
I need you alive.
Okay. Galen says to you, I appreciate this. Just we've worked together a long time. I trust you.
18 full years.
I see what you did there.
Traitor.
So it's not long before the Dragonborn returns with Galen Brimewater, as the Queen is carrying on a casual conversation with a halfling about just how special you all are. Since Sal referred to you as special, asking you to clarify exactly how special you are.
Special is the word I would use as well.
We're spectacular special.
Right.
Spectacular, if you would like it.
So does Tim have anything to have any input on the speciality of the group?
I have an input that I am going to get to Sal for this later.
Listen, Sal is just looking out for his besties, alright?
Chuck, look, the traitors here.
Well, I guess the conversation. Oh, Queen! I have brought to you Galen Primewater.
Traitor.
Our loyal friend from the city
Oh. Sorry, I had something in the throat.
who wishes nothing but to assist the lizard folk tribe.
Yeah.
Blood?
Assist them in their demise, you mean?
To be the next meal on a stick.
All Galen Primewater has done. I'll get him one day.
Just keep being hesitant every time you say it. It's great. Just change it. We'll get it. Just keep the water. Galen Rosewater. Galen Primewater. Galen Poopwater. Just go with it. Just go.
I've brought to you the young Primewater.
There you go. Sorry. We definitely support you.
What was that you said about Primewater?
I was just saying I brought him here as requested.
Primewater says, "Yes, my queen, you know I've always been here, been of service to you and your people."
He has. He's done nothing but supply us with supplies and weapons.
Shaman told me obviously a liar. He did try to kill you and your whole tribe.
He is a betrayer. He tried to kill you. She points to the group, and his men tried to kill me.
This seems like, honestly, nothing more than using this man as a scapegoat.
Question then, because I'm confused. Why would a person lie in their death?
That's what I was wondering.
That's what I was.
Oh my god, you did something smart today.
Only because I did not understand things.
I'm so proud of you. You used just words. Right? Should we do inspiration points here?
Yeah,
He put 2 and 2 together.
that's an inspiration point for
That's the first one in this campaign.
the queen. Looks a little surprised and says, "I didn't realize that one could talk."
Ouch.
Neither did I.
The man of few words,
It's usually better when he does
but
it.
powerful.
But when he speaks with reason.
Today he does.
And wisdom, apparently.
Let's not push it.
He looks down.
He talks with the chemist.
So, I'm interested, small but what would your people do in a situation like this? I've never encountered your kind. I've heard stories of the short tobacco-growing, beer-brewing, fun-loving gnomes. Oh, yeah. That's
Tomato, really.
Happens all the time.
So, what would a halfling say? What would halfling justice do to determine his honesty?
Well, they could have
Small.
Oh my god. Boo. Dad jokes.
First what we did is we weigh him with the duck. No.
If he weighs as much as a duck.
I just wanted to be funny. Okay.
Tristan playing with
Oh, that's sick.
What would the halflings do?
Everyone's looking at you, Tim. Everyone.
I'm also curious.
She says, "Well, it seems like the halfling has to think of it. Dwarf, what would your people do?"
We have like 15 of them. I gotta
Well, my time. I would have him go with us on the quest.
Like a trial by combat.
Yes.
Or prove his worth.
Yes.
I like dwarfs.
So that way, he could help us hunt the shark.
Face is face.
fell off the boat and just got killed. That'd be alright. Not that that would happen, or it's ever happened before.
Wait, is that what happened to Ned?
That is what happened to Ned.
I stabbed him through the heart. Just to make sure.
Shooting one would have done it.
Obviously
I
not
wouldn't
declaring
have
him a good
Well,
one.
he did. He shot him first, then he fell over, and then I stabbed him.
Yeah, the ranger knocked Ned into the water,
Double tap.
and where this one was hiding because he can breathe underwater.
Isn't that movie coming out this week?
I hope so. I'm pretty sure. I'm glad you got that reference. Though.
I can't believe we never told you the story of how your friend died. I guess we never gave you a chance to grieve.
We were gonna put a little
I'm like a quest. I don't need it.
we were gonna replace his figure with a little tombstone that said Ned.
That part I
So, Galen speaks up and says, "Milady, I feel like I could be far more valuable to you back in Saltmarsh, where I can continue to funnel supplies to your war effort against the shark people."
I say,
You can handle all the
No.
supplies you need.
I think if you are truly loyal to this queen, you need to prove it the way we've proved it. I nearly died tonight because of someone who claims that you are part of his plan to betray her. I think you need to re-earn the trust of this fair maiden. Warrior princess, leader, badass, her.
Say it again. I think you're working both sides of this deal.
If someone was working both sides of this deal, that would be very dastardly. I am not dastardly. I am full of myself,
You're full of something, all right.
and I enjoy the finer things in life, and I am more than willing to turn a profit, but I would never betray loyal customers.
It makes sense to me. Because if his customer base dies, who's he profiting off of?
You know what
Right,
else
Queen?
makes sense to me? Karma.
These guys are all the same. They're on to the next person.
What goes around comes around. That's all I'm saying. And I think he's been going around, and now what he's been doing is coming around. And he needs to prove that he deserves to continue doing what he does.
Well, he kind of like puffs out his chest and says, I in my younger years, I did have a habit of getting around. But,
Well, definitely never want to think about that again.
I'm a pirate.
I knew him back then, 18 years ago. He's not lying.
We regret to inform you we're officially rated.
Wasted my one good roll that night to see how long I've known him.
he says, but just as I point out that I've been getting up in years, like, I don't know how useful I would be on a quest to fight these dark people.
We always need somebody to go out.
Sounds like your belly has got you together.
We always need somebody to go out in front. It's all good.
Once again, the queen says, I like the dwarf.
As do I. However, between the two of us, I think the human prime water has shown his reliability over the past decade. Whereas these guys, as handy as they are with the swords, have just shown up on your doorstep.
And we've also taken care of numerous creatures that have been tormenting your people, rooted out a traitor and took him out, and now are also basically predicting that there is another traitor in this midst and trying to prevent you from having to deal with more tragedy of your
A traitor
greatness.
that was right underneath your nose the whole time you've been here.
I don't disagree with you, but
I don't want to tell you we're doing your job for you,
I do feel
but it
that
kind of feels like we're doing your job for
I
you.
do feel that prime water is better served from salt marsh.
The last traitor was right in your nose the whole time you were here.
I'm just starting to
like
think you're
where
not
this is going.
qualified.
Who's to say there aren't portraits?
Well, the queen says, now, don't think I'm a fool. I knew the shaman had his own place for gentle. But sometimes you have to keep your friends close and your enemies beneath.
Well, maybe that's why we need to take Galen with us. Keep him beneath us. Or keep him close. Maybe he will prove to be a friend. But maybe he won't.
Oh, I'm more often than not on top.
Oh.
Boom, freezing.
We regret to inform you these services now rated. We got like one more
Sorry.
before you hide your kids. So stay tuned.
Well, everybody's done a great job role playing. So give me a roll. Who's going to roll for? Well, you're going to roll for convincing Galen to stay in Salt Marsh and send more supplies.
I'm gonna try to convince her to send him with us.
Alright.
I've been keeping out of this conversation.
Well, I would say Sal gets advantage because all of you are on Sal's side. See how they can.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
That looks like a single-digit number.
That is a single digit number.
we're
Is that a 3? That's a 6.
You got a 6 total?
Hold on.
Beat a 6, Sal.
Oh, I did that. I got it. It was still a single digit. It was a 9, but it was on plus 4. So, yeah.
I want us to kill the 4 guards.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a 13.
Say we won't.
No, that's a lie. That's not true. I forgot. It's a 15 plus meter.
They're the only two that have to roll.
Yeah. Yeah, because Angie basically rolled for all of you. Alright.
By your powers combined.
I like to think that was mighty convincing.
Evidently more so than I was.
That's all that I need.
That's the one thing that Sal's really good at. Other than setting things on fire, talking people into stuff.
So this is my vision for Sal. This is what he looks like, even though he doesn't sound like it. So now you guys know. He's a pretty man,
Bald is beautiful.
right?
I say that only because I'm a bald guy.
He wants to have your facial hair. He just hasn't matured enough yet.
Give it time.
We're bald.
Maybe it's been a while. I'll give him a little.
Do you want to show the screen too so they can see?
I mean, I guess. Do they really deserve it? No.
You don't deserve my beautiful handiwork.
This is our boy. Can they see that?
I think you need to get it closer to the camera. There you go. There we go.
That's my
They can see
baby.
it.
Alright.
So yes, what's the queen gonna do now? Now that she definitely believes that I'm right.
So the Queen says, enough of this talk. Galen goes with you.
Does he now?
I have weapons for you.
Don't look at Galen. Better not. Yes. Quietly.
So the Queen says,
Here's the plan.
Maybe with this.
My Dragonborn will lead your lot here with Prime Water and the dwarf. I trust the dwarf. And the halfling.
I also like the dwarf.
I don't know. This one heals well. He talks a lot. The elf interesting.
As a meal.
He says, you will go and infiltrate Assadman lair. And we will provide a distraction. I will send my troops along with the merfolk and those fish friends. What were they called? So, no. Nothing crazy. We don't talk about them.
They're called the Fishmen.
yeah,
Because I can't remember what they're actually called off the top of my head.
I can't either, so I was hoping you would.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They just came out with it as a playing race.
Yeah, starts with an L. Yeah. Those finned ones.
Yeah.
So
The goofy looking fellas.
the mermaids and the finned ones. And my troops will do a feint attack. They'll assault the Sogwin fortress and then withdraw to lure out their troops while the group of you infiltrates.
Lokatha.
Yes, that's it.
Don't let me forget that winter. Doesn't make it.
Right.
So, you will infiltrate and find a way to rid us of these cursed shark creatures.
You got it, boss. Maybe we can do it again. I say that in
Well, as a Triton, you wouldn't like to augment it.
It's true, I do not like the show.
And I don't because they
I like
brutally killed one of my characters.
So this is like a personal vendetta for you, IRL.
So what can you tell us about the shark?
They had 3 crits in a row.
Who we're looking for?
Oh,
The leader changes about every year or two. They're cutthroat, ruthless. Everyone's always trying to climb to the top. Survival of the fittest.
You know nothing about that around here, huh?
Which is why we don't need a shaman here. I am a far more sensible ruler.
I believe it. Definitely comes across that way.
So far, I like it. We got prime minister, you're aces. It's all good.
So under my leadership,
And then she just goes off to talk about all the great things she's done for her people. It takes her about like 15 minutes.
Wow.
Any chance we can have the guy that helped us with the shaman?
I need him here to keep our home safe.
That is fact.
He's loyal.
I guess that makes sense. Do you really think they're going to attack you here when we're out there?
I always think I'm under attack. That's why I'm still alive. Right, Halfling?
I didn't expect you to point at me. So.
Just keeping you on your toes.
This guy you trust, huh?
I've spent 18 years with her,
Now you knew Prime Water for 18 years.
and he has been loyal ever since.
We're asking if you're loyal.
Obviously.
Loyal to who, I wonder?
Obviously, he's asking.
Loyal to Prime Water.
No.
No, I think he's loyal to
We'll talk about
money.
this.
So, I guess I'm basically gonna just talk to her and be like, is there anything you can equip us with for this journey and this terribly perilous fight?
Yeah, if I remember right, my ship needs a lot of work.
Probably.
Remember when we grounded against the rocks with the giants?
Honestly, no.
It's true, it does need a lot of work.
You know,
I just remember
Galen Prime Water here is fairly wealthy and could probably have your ship fixed.
So we have money. We're way away from salt marsh.
we have our own money.
I'm just saying, he has a connection with the salt marsh that we can utilize.
I got Chuck. Chuck's hooked up in the salt marsh like there's no tomorrow.
Chuck looks at you like,
Chuck also cannot.
points at himself.
Yeah, you are.
We need all the argument we can get against him.
Exactly.
So the queen says I have many hands.
I will send my men to help you, your ship.
All right. Wait, are we gonna leave Chuck behind when we go to battle?
No, we gotta take this ship.
Did we though? I thought there were 2 paths we could take.
You almost died the first 6 feet into the other path.
Listen,
But we can go that way.
Did you really?
that was a very
That was
different.
right there.
That was a very. Whoa. That was a very unique experience, okay? That was not like I was leaving on the journey. I was lured there by a psychopath who happened to want to kill everybody. So So you're welcome. I kept them distracted for you, obviously.
Who wants to go on the sea and who wants to go over the forest or the swamps? Either way, it's fine with me.
I'm going for the ship just because I like ships.
I'm gonna go with our dwarven friend.
Like walks.
I'm going not go by sea.
Two walkers.
Just
I'm going by
because.
land.
Just because, you know, us Dragonborn are dense. We don't swim well.
Yeah, but he's got no problem.
Well, when he's swimming away from frogs.
I don't like talking.
I vote whatever the dwarf votes.
Go by land.
And I guess I'm walking too. These legs were made for walking.
3 if by land.
This fish guy goes. The only guy who's a fish race goes.
The queen calls Sal up to her throne and says, "Kneel."
I was about to nudge you to make sure that you kneel.
Yeah. I start curtsying and then I'm like, well, and I stumble into a kneel. Just kidding, I got it.
She takes her big silver two-handed sword and she dubs you a warrior of the queen.
I'm gonna wait. No, I'm not gonna do that in character. Then. I'm just gonna be like very solemn about it. Like, you honor me. Does that make me a knight?
She extends her silver sword and hands it to you.
I drop it.
Yeah, you're not very strong. She says, "Use this next time and stay safe."
Thank you. I hold it really awkwardly, thanks. Kind of like drag it behind me. It's fine. I'll trip over it once.
What's happening, Chuck, is you're not going to ask any questions and you're going to give one thanks.
Where's that bag of holding? I think I need it.
Golden's on vacation.
With that really awesome thing that we had the ice spell on. Well, I had my own stash. No, we froze into that.
I also figured out how the mutation was going to work on the bard. He hasn't been back since. Alright, so you guys are heading through the swamp, so you don't have to wait for your boat to be prepared before you leave. So, are you leaving now, or are you going to wait for first light?
We should probably rest.
Definitely rest. Every now and then I'm still spitting up a little bit of blood, even though I'm healthier. Yeah, I'm gonna go rest.
Alright.
We have to either tie up our water or watch it.
He'll stay, don't worry.
Yeah, that did not inspire confidence. I just
Although technically Chuck is not hurt. Chuck ties him up and he'll watch him while everybody rests.
Ties him up. Prime doesn't want to be tied up.
well, that's not the prime one.
It's better than being dead.
Get back, prime water, because you're gonna have to deal with this.
I have no faith in the fact you will not try to escape.
When did Tristan get so ruthless?
Right? It's and this you'll wonder why Sal's going first.
Sinful man of God. Now he's being
Both my parents were absent at my
Fair.
Alright, so
Who's your god? Who's your god?
something angry.
something Italian.
Something angry.
Me too.
I like it. I like it.
Alright, so dawn comes, the sun rises across the swamp. It's a beautiful glow from the morning sunrise, kind of through this leaves of the various trees and moss and assorted other creepy crawly things. And the swamp has this, rich, dank smell of, marsh and water.
I walk out and it smells like nature.
Smells like green.
Feels like home to the dwarf, I suppose. Our resident swamp dwarf.
Yes, I never been 400 years old.
Very old swamp dwarf.
I think of all
Love this set of bowls.
alright, so is there like a map that we follow,
The dwarf knows the way.
or in that case,
Oh, thank goodness.
lead the way, good sir.
Now that nobody cares where Galen lives or dies, I pull him close to me and I tell him, the only way you're living through this is if you find my sister. That's what I've been looking for this entire time.
He's like, I'm certain I can do this. If you let me return to Saltmarsh, I will find her post haste.
We'll let you send a message.
Start?
Yeah, do you want to send that message? Okay, how are we doing that?
I don't know, we'll figure it out another way. It's not last long.
Alright, that's fine.
This is just a good chance I won't kill him.
As we're walking,
As I
can
look down
Sal
at my
just
paper
have
and it says, "Let's find sister."
Can Sal just have like a little bit of fire in his hand at all times, like he's just ready for anything? Every now and then, if something chirps too loudly, he kind of like throws it in his fire. Not necessarily a fire bolt, it's just like a warning shot.
Alright,
Swamp's gonna go up and I like it.
Yeah, he's a bit jumpy. It's a swamp. He's a bit jumpy though.
So underneath you kill him.
now.
No?
So, what we're going to do is we're going to do a skill challenge.
Yay!
So you tell me how you are going to deal. The dwarf knows the way, but how are you going to deal with the hazards of the swamp? So, you need 6 successes before you get 4 failures in order to not have to expend any excessive resources.
I'm gonna be very perceptive.
Use your perception.
Yeah.
Because you said Sal's on edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all about that perception.
Alright, well give me a perception check as you keep your eyes peeled and your fiery finger pointed at them.
That would be a 16.
Alright, so that's a success. What do you spot? How do you keep everybody safe?
Alright, so are there like gators in the swamp? Can there be
Oh yeah, definitely gators in the swamp.
So I definitely see some gators.
Actually, now that I think about it, probably crocodiles, because this is a brackish swamp.
Ew, okay, that's even worse. So every now and then, like, someone will go to step.
Play that shit.
They'll go to, like, step, and they think that it's a log, and I, like at one point, like maybe the halfling goes to step on like a log, right? And I grab him by the cloak and I pull him back just as the thing rips its head out of water and tries to eat you because you're tiny and delicious looking. So I like pick you up and I'm like, no! And then I light it on fire.
And it swims away quickly.
And it swims away, yeah, it doesn't die. It's losing a few teeth for sure. And its tongue is definitely charred. But it's fine, it won't die. At least not in front of us. And then, yeah, every now and then I'll see another one and I'll throw a fireball to scare them away.
Keeping the crocodiles at bay with fireballs.
Absolutely.
Alright. Alright, so that's 1 success down. What's the next thing you do to keep yourself safe as you travel through the swamp?
I'd like to pray to my God for protection.
Alright. So is that a religion check or a performance check? Or
You tell me, preferably religion.
Alright, religion. Go for it.
That's a 15.
Yeah.
All right.
And I say, and I'm like, under my breath, so nobody else can hear me, right? I'm like, Tiamat, please protect me and the young Galen Primewater as we attempt to destroy your enemies and rise to power in their place.
In all my paranoid perception, I see you killing to yourself, and I'm like, that one's losing it.
So, as the Dragonborn prays to his unknown god, unknown to the rest of you, you feel the warm snarl of Tiamat look down upon you as the sorcerers over there throwing fire in all directions. You sense Tiamat's approval and blessing.
It's totally me, guys. That feeling of warmth, that's me keeping you all safe.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if I like you. Maybe you're welcome. How did you end up coming with us anyway?
Because the story said so.
Okay.
The queen said so.
I thought the queen said he had to stay for protection.
No, the
That's
other
the
guy.
guard.
That was the big tall guard.
Oh, well, in that case, okay.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, were you asking if I could go with you?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just assumed that I was going to tag
No,
along.
well, I mean, out of game, yes, but in character, I
Oh,
thought
okay.
the queen might want you around.
Right.
Well, that's why she couldn't, because Tristan asked about the other head of the
Yeah.
folk. And that's why the queen wouldn't let him go, because she's not going to part with both of them.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
And I'm probably more useful in scraps than he is. I can turn invisible.
Yeah, that's useful to you.
That's why I took it.
So, as the sorcerer throws fire around the swamp and drives the crocodiles away, and you are in tune with your patron, you kind of have this, that otherworldly sense that you get as a warlock, as if your patron is kind of making suggestions. And so it's almost like you have the thought yourself, but you're not really sure if it's your thought or if it's her thought. Right. But the thought is, that one should serve. Powerful fire.
Sorry, it's on character.
Tiamat wants to lure that one to your side.
That's a good idea. Me. Thanks, pal. You'd be great.
I feel like I'm thoroughly creeped out by this. Tristan is thoroughly creeped out by this.
That's true. You are in tune to the supernatural as well.
I go over and I give Sal a whole thing. I say, you should probably wear this.
Does it burn me when I touch it? I like to poke it to be sure. I don't feel more powerful when I hold it. What do I need this for?
Oh, the feeling. Remember back at the shop?
I trusted you then. I guess I should trust you now.
Couldn't hurt.
I take it and I'm going to put it in my other pocket that might have a small hole in the bottom. I trust you a little bit. I poked it, like, it's just my finger that goes through it. You know, the puppy was sitting in that one for a while. He kind of like juked through that one, so I just switched it to the other pocket. But I kind of forget sometimes. So I'm just saying.
At least not till we say.
I'm not doing it deliberately, but I am just making it known that that pocket was a hole that Sal might have forgotten. So if the gods really want it,
Alright, so what else are you doing to keep yourself safe as you travel through the swamp? What other skills do you want to use?
what does the dwarf do? I mean, he's leading us.
And
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
now, remember, if you want to burn a spell, you can always burn a spell to ensure a success on a skill challenge like this. So,
I see a lot of
Do you want
fog
to
that
use
comes
one of
rolling
those?
in.
No, because then I
So we
can't
can't find our
fireball.
way, so I cast Gusty Wind.
alright.
Find the way, so we can see where we're going.
Alright, so you use Gust of Wind to clear a path through the misty, foggy swamp.
So we don't lose our way.
Alright,
As I see Mike just stumbling, or Gargak just stumbling off into the water. I'm like, we're going this way.
so you would roll a d20 and add your danger skill. Uh-oh. Well, something about that didn't work. So what was the dwarf trying to do? Was he trying to find a shortcut or?
Yeah.
All right. So
He flew open the shortcut and I checked to see if it was a good way to go.
And it wasn't, no.
and it didn't turn out to be that good of a way. So you guys are gonna have to expend some sort of resource. What are you gonna expend to make up for the failed skill check here?
Like what kind of resources would it be? Like spell slots or something else?
You could use a spell slot to get you out of the jam, or you could use something out of your inventory.
I still have the inspiration slot. Can I use that?
Sure.
I can use that, so we'll use the inspiration slot.
All right.
Well done.
You spend your inspiration. So once again, Gargax looks intelligent as he proves to the dwarf that is not as short of a cut as he thought it was.
Oh my god,
There
what
was
is
something in the
happening
mushrooms.
here?
Can you eat the mushrooms with the hot sauce?
Yeah.
There was something in that hot sauce.
I'm glad you took extra.
Right?
Give more to him.
That's what I was actually
All right, so
mushrooms for encouragement.
the Dragonborn Barbarian gets everyone back on track. Well, that just made up for the fail. So you're still at 3 plus, right? So you need 3 more.
Can people go more than once or should everyone do it?
All I've got is acrobatics.
Acrobatics?
Think
Flip
of
through the
an,
trees!
think of an inventive way.
Just look around and find the same path to walk.
All right, you climb up high to get a good vantage point.
Teach us how to swing like Tarzan.
If I add that up, that's a 10.
A 10. Unfortunately, the halfling runs into something in the trees. So you got to spend a resource. That's a fail. So what are you gonna do? What happens in the trees? You tell me. Anybody? Do you have a maybe you lose your rope or?
He's attacked by wild monkeys, and I take the mushrooms that I took from the lizard people, and I throw them at the monkeys, but I throw like a sample, and when they get high off of them and really like them, I take the rest and I chuck them in the atmosphere.
Alright. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Thanks for wasting my mushrooms. Don't die.
I can't get aborted.
Yeah, no. Try again, I dare you.
All right. So you expended your mushrooms. That's the second time Sal has saved a halfling.
You're running out of strikes, kid.
I would have caught the tree on fire.
As I pipe up, I go,
Actually,
time to prove your worth, Prime Water.
Oh, you asked Prime Water.
Time to prove your worth.
But he's not a resource we can use.
No, but you can do something. You can run it for a living.
I don't know. Is there anything following us that can smell fresh blood? Because we can use his.
Prime Water reaches into his coat pocket and kind of maneuvers his hand around inside his coat pocket for a little while, as if he's fiddling with something. And he pulls his hand out of his pocket and then tightens down a ring onto his finger. And he reaches out his hand and he he casts Thunder Wave and just blasts a bunch of brush and scrub bushes and debris out of your way and clears a nice wide section of the swamp. And then he kind of bows nobly and gestures to you like,
Not too bad.
I confiscate that.
Here I was hoping that was a ring of invisibility.
it appears to have some sort of spell slots in it.
Fancy trick.
I look at Tristan and I go, do we really want him to have that?
At least now we know he has it.
I mean, we could also know he doesn't have it and that one of us does.
It's a little too early to kill him, right?
I didn't say we had to kill him. I'm just saying we can take it by force.
Now he's gonna give it up without a fight.
Have you looked at him lately and thinking, I think I've got more fight in him and I am so squishy.
Depends on what's in the ring.
That's fair. I guess we'll wait and see.
All right, so with Galen's
Because
help,
I'm like, I do want to be a By all means.
he also reaches into his other coat pocket and pulls out a dagger and kind of uses it, like a limp little machete.
I see him do that and I attempt to use the silver sword once. I get it stuck in a tree and then I'm like, can someone else carry this?
What kind of sword is it?
It's a big two-handed great sword.
I'll take a great sword.
Alright.
That is the one thing I don't have. Is a great sword.
I give it to you. And I say, if you run away again, I'm going to cook you and eat you.
Wait.
Dragon on a stick.
This is talking about the frog.
Oh, we don't eat that. You got a big shiny sword that protects you from frogs.
It's a silver great sword.
Remember who your friends are.
Frog Slayer is its name.
Frog Slayer. Yeah, you should definitely write that down. The silver sword is called Frog Slayer.
I'm on it.
It's silver. So. Actually, I have survival, so let me try that.
Alright.
Try to see if I can. See if we can avoid some natural pitfalls, I guess.
Okay.
Food.
That's a 14.
14?
What is? No, that's a 12. Excuse me.
Okay.
I'm not good at math.
Alright, so unfortunately that's not quite high enough. So what were you trying? You were trying to use your survival skill to avoid some
Just try to
hazards.
avoid something, like try to avoid aliens or something like that. Or sinkholes.
Okay, like sinkholes and
Rodents of unusual size.
what's the lightning sand? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, just try to avoid something that people's not seeing.
You mean like where the horse race thing?
No, stop.
She's gonna kill you tonight.
All right, so that didn't work though. So what happened and what resources are you going to expend to get through the swamp?
Well, you see, I have this horse in my pocket.
I have.
They said signal, right?
You said spell slot or what was the other thing?
Resource, like something off of your equipment list.
Well, wait, what happened? You went into a safe hole?
Well, he was
Oh, I
trying.
got a rope. I used a rope to get myself out of here.
All right, so you use your rope, but you expend the rope in the process, so the rope stays
That's okay.
stuck in the
I
stuck in
can
the
find
mud.
me another rope. That's no problem.
All right,
I agree.
so you're still at 3 successes, and you're at 3 fails.
So now can we have people go again? Because I feel like we kind of have to, right?
Oh yeah, you can always go again. You just can't use the same skill in the same day. But if you get to 4 fails, was Prime Water 4? Okay, yeah. So you've got 4 successes. Yeah, because you had religion, your spell slot, and then her persuasion, or Sal's persuasion, or Sal's perception, and then yeah. So you're 4 to 3.
Can I use Arcana, like to see if I can sense mystical forces that will guide my way?
Damn, I was gonna do the same thing.
I
Just playing better.
Alright, well,
birds
if you were
spell.
going to do the same thing, then you Sal can.
You can do that. I can use religion because I've got that trinket that Tristan gave me. I can see if it works.
Would you rather me roll with advantage?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got
That's fine. I mean, I just rolled. That's why I was asking, and I got a. I'm pretty sure I got a success.
Oh, okay.
So
What'd
is
you
it
get?
16 a success?
16 is a success, yes.
Okay.
What'd you use?
Well, that's why I was asking. I was going to use Arcana, but religion has the same stat for me. So that's why I can use religion and hold up Tristan's thing and be like, this feels like a good direction.
You gotta hold it like, what is
Divining rod.
Yeah, like a divining rod.
I think there's something angry over that way.
These my spells and rods find all the great items.
It's really just me having gas the whole time, but I have no idea.
Does he just look and he goes, well, at least she didn't lose it.
Alright, so
So now you can still use Arcana.
Yes, and I'll search for like magical ley lines in the swamp that would lead us in the right direction.
Can I use my Arcana stat to give him advantage now? That would be the end of my stats. So,
yeah.
It's like a 21.
Alright.
Success. Alright.
That's
So
just 6. Yeah, that's why I
Alright.
asked.
Between the dwarf's knowledge of the swamp and your combined skills, you have successfully navigated your way to the Sahagwan fortress.
I look at you and I'm like, it was
The shoulders hurt from carrying this team a little.
Yes. Does it look?
Have you been there yet? Oh.
Or are we taking a 10-minute nap?
Alright, well, so from your vantage point in the swamp, peering out between some cypress trees, overlooking some murky water that has a rather scared crocodile in it that skirmishes off because it apparently knows now. The word has spread among the crocodiles that you are not a meal.
They heard through the crocodile grapevine.
That's right. Swamp vine.
Swamp
What
vine.
else? Yeah, I was just gonna say vine. 'Cause that's what
Yeah. What kind of fruits
I don't know.
are there? Swamp fruits? I'm sure there's swamp fruits, right?
swamp berries. I'm sure there's swamp
The
berries.
swamp berry vines.
Alright, so you look upon the Sahagwan fortress, and it's an old stone structure from some lost civilization that used to be here. It has a very symmetrical, stone structure, kind of like Mayan architecture almost, kind of pyramid-esque series of rectangular and square buildings all kind of packed around in this big compound.
What is it?
Someone else joined.
How
Hey,
tall is it?
Justin! Hey, Justin! Yeah! Merlin's here too. That's another one of my friends from my street.
This is like Angie 2.
Yeah!
Angie
My
After
own
Dark.
friend. Thank you for watching!
It's like Angie After Dark.
Sunset with Angie.
Mostly, I'm just wondering what the the structural
I feel like it's
integrity.
my poor name, so I'm probably never going to go to
It looks pretty sound. It looks like a pretty
It's not
solid.
like it's sinking into the ground or anything.
Yeah. It would,
Okay, what
give
was
me
the
a
name?
religion check as you look at it.
Sahara. What the heck do I
I don't need enough.
Wow.
As a Triton, do I get any
I
premonitions?
know nothing about it.
Memories of this?
I rolled a 1. With my bonus, that's a 5.
It's a waterborne noble, do I like to remember it?
Go ahead and give me a religion check.
For those of you in chat who are wondering, I am our note taker, record keeper, and historian of adventures.
You can give me an arcana or a religion check.
I don't know a lot.
Yeah, both of them suck.
right, so you get the sense, like I said, that this was an old and once powerful structure of some kind. Your knowledge doesn't serve you well, but you
Wait,
get,
but the dwarf have any knowledge though, since he got us here?
that's true.
Like a history check, maybe?
Yeah,
No, I do not want to do this.
Just kidding?
Inside.
Inside? Sure.
That's way better than we did.
17.
17?
Guess not.
Inside to see if there's a segue
Like what we know about it.
So the history that you are aware of is that this actually was a great temple in throughout the history of the lizard folk. But dark magic caused the island that this temple was on to sink in an effort to destroy the temple. But there was enough arcane or divine power in the temple that prevented it from sinking all the way into the swamp. So now the temple sits right at the water level, which is convenient for the shark people because they can come and go by river with easy access to the sea.
So it's underground / underwater?
Yeah, it sort of happens to
Yeah.
Alright.
Do you see any of them from afar? Do you see them walking around?
You don't spot any of them.
Salazar, what do your elf eyes see? Dead?
Alright, I'll take it.
Here, help us see.
I watched Lord of the Rings the other night.
The director's cut, 27 hours.
The extended, I watched, so over 3 days I watched all 3 Hobbit movies and all 3 extended Lord of the Rings movies.
Were you punishing yourself?
No, I was, like getting out of bed.
Good way to,
So I'm gonna say you took very long naps, because that's what I do in those movies.
it's a good way to waste 48 hours.
Alright, Alright, so I'm just looking in the front door basically. That's what I'm saying. Like, is it.
You tell me, what do you do?
Okay, so you said that the dwarf knows the history of this place, or he knows enough about it that he knows that was the history. Would we know enough that we could have a point of entry?
I mean, one of you could make a skill check and try to scout it out.
No, can I fashion myself into a fit and look like a
Is that nature?
Do you have stealth? Yeah. I say we send the halfling to scout.
Can I, while he scouts ahead, can I try making a nature or investigation check to see if there's any sort of, like, anything I can see of the foliage or anything growing on or around this building that might indicate an entryway or doorway that's been used?
Certainly, either one of those.
Okay. I'll save.
Now, Tim, don't be a hero. Alright? If you see anything, come back and let us know.
That was that.
At 20.
Yeah, I feel like I just wasted it.
Don't be a hero.
But if you get caught, don't talk.
Right, but if you get caught, we are not out here.
All right, if you get caught, all you know is
All right, so Sal seems to have spotted what could possibly be an entrance, despite how well it's camouflaged by all the leaves. So I was about to say, roll your stealth check with advantage. All right, you want me to there? Back-to-back nat 20s.
Smoke them out.
So I'm gonna say I point to that entrance and I send you over and I'm like, maybe you should go in that way and check things out. But don't forget to look for traps because you may be the only one who knows. And then I hand you Nugget. For luck.
yes, stealth along with the chicken.
Yes. I look at Nugget and I go,
get ready to run.
Yep. Nugget drops an egg.
Yes!
Morale check on the chicken.
I take the egg and I immediately give it to the puppy. This dog hasn't eaten in like 5 days. It's gonna die.
You have to eat else on a stick?
I gave him food when we were leaving the wizard, but the route to this fortress was a 5-day route.
Oh,
it was 3 days by sea and 5 days by swamp.
Gotcha.
So I just assumed that since I didn't technically kill the monkeys or cook the crocodiles, maybe I fed him some like nasty stuff, and then he probably got like poopy, and you know, it's a long story. But basically, he's okay.
Ate like a king on his own rations and neglected his animals.
No, Sal's been starving too, but the dog comes first. Look, he needs to be hangry when he really has to be in a combat situation. So he's like prepped himself for this.
There's
You
nothing
know?
more terrifying.
He's got to have a lot of aggression, and the best way to do it is just to starve himself and become like really just rage. Yeah. It's a full strategy.
You should have brought some help on a stick with you.
Oh, he's definitely, he munches on it like he'd be
pulls
dead
around,
by
dog?
now. Yeah. No, specifically a little bit shaped. You know, he holds it by the ankle and gnaws on the calf.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm pretty sure hangry was how Michael Vick trained his dogs.
You gotta learn from the greats.
The greats.
Michael Vick in the D&D world.
All right, so Tim, your halfling pirate, expertly sneaks his way through the swamp up to the entrance to the Sohgwyn fortress, can't talk, and deftly maneuvers between some foliage and branches to enter the hidden entrance as he climbs underneath the greenery and slinks inside. What do you do once you're in the hallway? All right. So give me an investigation check as you check for traps.
20.
No way, did you just do it again?
Nice.
Whatever dice this is, you should hold on to this one.
Of course, you're the only one who sees this.
Thank you, Mike.
I can definitely tell from Nugget though. I see through Nugget's eyes.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Warging?
I thought that's how it worked, yeah.
Yes, I mean,
That's how it works.
hold up the back.
So I'm like watching all this. I'm definitely in on it, but I'm not going to tell anyone that you were awesome. I'm going to say it was all Nugget. So, you know.
I would have done the same.
As you see Tim take Nugget, toss him into the next trap.
Whatever the group does, as soon as I follow, I'll be right back.
All right, no, what I do is don't play, just take Nugget. That's how he's checking for traps.
Yes. Just like, remember, you can launch like a projectile.
Or you can do like you want to.
I'd like to check for traps using the chicken. That'll be an animal handling, not an investigation.
So, what do I see?
All right. So there are a variety of sea creature mosaics along the hall, which your investigation check is smart enough to figure out that those mosaics hide several poison dart little ports, and those ports, you assume, are connected to the draconic writing that's on the floor. And since you've been hanging out with the Dragonborn Barbarian, you picked up a little bit of draconic language, and you're able to decipher. You surprise yourself at how well you're able to decipher this, and discern the draconic word for enter. And if you step on the letters that spell out the word enter as you walk down the hall, you avoid the pit traps or the poison dart traps. So you kind of dance your way down the hallway with the Nugget, the chicken, in your arms. And now give me a perception check.
Another minute, Nugget.
Now you're like,
That is a 6.
All right. you said you were also keeping your eyes and ears peeled to see if there was anybody else in the hallway.
Can Nugget like poke him in the head and maybe give him advantage, you know?
I was actually about to ask. Sal
That's pushing it, I know.
Give me a roll with disadvantage. You're looking through chicken eyes here. I'm not sure how good a chicken has, how good a vision chicken has.
Well, that was a nat one.
They do have binocular vision.
What's that?
They do have binocular vision.
Because they have 2 eyes.
Well, no, because they're both focused.
Well, this chicken has cataracts, so I did nothing with it.
So,
You're on your own, kid.
as Tim dances down the draconic runes on the floor, feeling very proud of himself for outsmarting the poison dart trap, he doesn't notice the Sahogwin guard who happens to be, leaning against the wall around the corner. So as you get to the end of your little halfling dance on the draconic ruins, you feel a cold, clammy, clawed hand just grip you on top of your head. What's that?
Are you from the dead end, good sir?
Take the chicken's feet.
I don't know you.
It's a
That's
shark
my
smacking on the
first.
snout. It's a shark smacking on the snout.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
All right, are you going to attack?
Do you want to tell us that, Tim is about to die?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I work out? I wanted to let him
I have
ask.
this nice dust of sneezing coffee
Oh, you do? Yeah. You going to throw your dust of season and coffee on him?
right into its nose.
All right. And do you have the stats on that?
No.
Okay. I think he has to make a saving throw against that, if I remember right.
He's got flippers. How much of a saving throw?
Now I'm actually picturing a bipedal shark. Like, he doesn't have arms, he just has flippers.
Dust of sneezing coffee.
What's that old Hanna-Barbera cartoon?
It would help if I was actually talking about
Where it was like a friendly shark?
Jabba Jaw.
Yeah.
DC 15 Constitution.
All right, DC 15 Constitution check. Thank you. He saves.
There.
Okay, I sense that you're in trouble, so I work back out of Nugget and I go, guys, we gotta go help him. And by the way, I read Draconic. So I'm assuming I could have read everything via Nugget.
Oh, yeah, you would have figured it out too.
Yeah.
Before we get going, I have to
How does everybody know my language?
I pull out a sprig of spruce and
He was
mistletoe
born and it was
with a
pretty
flame
looking.
and rub them together.
He's actually very good.
A nice
I like it.
smoky billow and use my pass without a trace to cover our party.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like you. You're a clever dwarf.
You're a clever dwarf. All right, so you throw the dust in the shark's face as the rest of you scramble through the swamp under the shadowy protection of the dwarf's magic. He does take his hand off your head, yes, and he draws his weapon, which is this kind of jaggedy, asymmetrical triton-like thing. Looks like a big ugly fork.
Just remember, Nugget will save you.
Hey, your wages with that, you big ugly for
And
And
Nugget-
everybody that's within my party gets a 10 plus dexterity.
Yeah, for stealth.
For stealth.
Yep.
Wait, did you just say a plus 10 to their dexterity?
Plus
Yeah.
10 to stealth.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still good.
Yeah.
I'm still good.
You're-
My wonderful attack.
You're all stealth now. All right.
So take Nugget and just put him right on the tip of the trident.
Yeah. Everybody roll a stealth check.
Thank goodness I have plus 10.
That's a 22!
I get a plus 10? Yeah. It still doesn't matter. It's a nat 1.
So
What happens if you get a third? Oh,
Wow. You guys are rolling nat 20s all over the place.
I'm
today.
not. I'm rolling the
I think I
nat one
should
over
celebrate
there.
that with a lot.
Yeah, that'll change when we get in combat.
Alright.
Guys, I have a very real problem. Sorry. It's an addiction.
So we're definitely heavily close. Because I got 24.
Alright.
Well, not
So-
all of us.
Can we just leave the loud ones behind? Just tell them to come later.
They're the tanks.
I'm basically the tank of the group.
Okay, so he stabs you. You take 5 damage from his trident.
I know you have to get just to say when, not get in front of me.
I said I might be tankier than
Alright, well, I mean, because you threw the dust, right? You made a save, he stabbed you.
Weapons.
Now roll initiative.
The only reason that my armor class is so low is because of
Yeah.
I do, and it's nice 7.
7. Alright, so he has initiative. Right, so he's going to attack you again. Let's see. Does a 16 hit you?
The match is the armor class.
Yes. Yeah. Alright, so you're going to take another 5 damage and he stabs you a second time. And now what do you do?
Oh, I can have that.
Yeah, you can have that with uncanny dodge.
No,
I have uncanny dodge.
He's 5th level. He has uncanny dodge.
does that work for melee attacks?
I'm pretty sure it should work with any attack because that's what it says.
Okay.
Hold on.
For some reason, I only thought it would like you.
I think you're thinking of evasion.
Yeah, you probably am. Alright.
Playing a rogue in the grammar.
Yeah.
Uncanny dodge. You can use your reaction to have the attack damage against you.
Alright, yep, you are correct. So you only take 2 damage from that hit then. Which, note to self, if you have uncanny dodge, use it whenever they get an odd number. You always round up.
Yeah.
Alright, so you do your best to dodge that attack. Now you get to go.
My options are sword or chicken.
Sword or chicken? Well, what do? You stab him with the beak of a chicken or you stab him with your sword?
Use the sword.
Alright.
Darn, that was the wrong answer for me.
Now remember, you get your sneak attack damage if you have an ally within 5 feet of you.
Technically, I do.
If you want to toss the chicken like up in the air to distract the Sahagwan,
That's a great idea.
then you would have advantage on your attack.
Like this.
Do we have to roll to see if this eats the chicken? Like you throw something at a dog.
Or not advantage on the attack, I'm sorry, but you would get your sneak attack damage if you hit.
But if you're gonna do it, you must make chicken noises for Nugget. How does Nugget react when you throw her in the air?
You should not speak to chicken noise.
Yeah, that's not.
So I'll throw Nugget at me. I can hear Nugget going.
Yes! Yes!
Alright, and then you thrust your sword at the Sahagwan. Alright, roll your damage, all of it. Has his sneak attack damage gone up now that he's 5th level?
Yes.
Your strength was only a 0. Your dex.
Sneak attack, 3d6 at 5th level, yes.
3d6 at 5th level. Alright, so 46 plus your dexterity bonus.
So we got 3 so far.
No, it's dex is 4.
Yeah.
So how much damage do you do?
A total of 25.
You kill the Sahagwan in 1 shot.
Yes!
Good job, Ken.
Because
Rogues are
Nugget,
OP.
that's why.
Rogues are OP. That's why.
I'm just gonna catch Nugget. I hear it. comes down.
Can we roll for another egg? That was a very stressful moment.
A very stressful moment for Nugget. No more eggs.
Dang.
All right. So, what is Tim's passive perception? 12. All right. Tim does not see the other guard who's sneaking up on him. Like, once again, he's so excited for how well he's done. However,
It's a great flaw in my character.
any of you who beat an 11 with your stealth check are gonna have surprise on the second guard.
I'm ready.
So who beat an 11 on their stealth check?
30.
All of you? Not you?
I got a 1.
You got an 11.
You got an 11. All right, so there.
Oh, his total was 12.
All right, so all of you make an attack against the second guard. Everybody roll. Tell me your damage.
Bob,
No, take that. Don't say take.
So when you attack,
Just a regular attack. You basically got the drop on him.
Ooh, that's good. 18. And I'll add this for you today.
18? All right, you hit.
I assume I rolled 14 to hit. So that hits 18 damage.
18 damage.
30, 20.
All right.
That was with a cantrip.
All right. Which cantrip do you use?
Firebolt.
All right. What weapon are you using? You using your new silver sword?
for that,
Wait, no, back. I was wrong. Sorry.
no, that's still my
So see how
maul.
it's a +5? So whatever you roll, you add 5 to that number.
What'd you hit with?
Two-handed warhammer.
Your warhammer? Oh, nice. What cantrip is it?
Firebolt.
So it's 14 to hit. Does he hit?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're attacking with a 14 because it's 9 plus 5.
I took that over Eldritch Blast for thematic reasons.
Which is your triangle. And add 3 to whatever you want. So you're 5
I shoot it out of my mouth.
All right. What weapon is that?
Light
Light
hammer.
hammer. That is light
So
hammer.
it's bludgeoning damage.
Yep. All right. What did Sal do?
He attacked with a firebolt. So I need to
Finger guns.
This is hard to just blow at this point.
I want Sal to like get in close once in a while though and actually go from like the dagger to the throat.
Well, this would have been the
I feel like
one.
he would
I
have
did
to
from the front. 11 would have been the one.
Right? Like, you know what? He's feeling really stealthy. I think that's it. He's actually going to go in for this one. So it's a 14 to hit.
All right. Roll your dagger damage.
I'm seeing something like out during Ball Z about that.
That's a 4 damage.
All right.
Piercing.
So, Tim throws Nugget up in the air, distracts the guard, then slaughters the guard with his short sword.
They're saying hi to each other. I'm encouraging hellos.
And as he gets this big grin on his face as he takes out the first guard, then his eyes get wide as he realizes the second guard's about to get the drop on him, and then he's struck by a firebolt, hit with a hammer, and then has a giant warhammer and a maul smash him on either side of the head, and his body falls limp onto Sal's dagger.
And I say, I am the knight.
You got it, coach.
All right. So,
Perfect timing, the body.
Nugget.
So, your chicken's a good luck charm.
Yes, she is, my good friend. Yes, she is.
Tristan just takes out a little knife and he's got a shark. He's like, hey, there's nothing like shark. Oh, sorry, I didn't have it.
I'm going to feed some shark person to my dog.
you're gonna feed some
Yes.
first person to the dog.
And I'm going to let Nugget sniff at it in case she's interested in the eyes. You never know.
Tristan's just carving right in. It's not like a good shark. This one's even cooked.
Because you got hit with a firebolt.
Yeah.
All right, so you have eliminated the 2 guards that were watching this entrance. Now, how do you want to proceed from here?
What am I looking at? I don't have dark vision. Is it dark in here?
We both don't.
They have dark vision. Let me see. Shark people do have dark vision, so it's probably
Shark people do, but dragon people don't.
shark people actually have really good dark vision. So,
Dragons have blindsight. Dragon people,
I take it you're going in front because you're like tanky.
I can't even see.
Yeah, but I'm saying no. If you could see,
I'm not that tanky. I'm a warlock.
all right.
Gargax, come on over here. Bring me whatever. What weapon are you using? My.
I'm using my maul. That's what I
I
use.
touched
You're
the
not
top
gonna
of your maul and like.
You're not going to use the great sword that I so kindly gave you?
I haven't seen one of those things yet.
So you can light my mace up.
You just said you weren't going in front.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll cast dancing lights and set them overhead. You're welcome, everybody. Let me just keep carrying this whole team. It's fine, you know, magical chickens, got all the stealth.
Please, you wouldn't even be alive if it wasn't for me. You'd be a heap in
I
the
can
middle
just
of those
constantly
warriors.
shoot fire bolts out of my mouth down the hallways.
All right, so all along the hallways are still the mosaics of various sea creatures: hammerhead sharks, dragon turtles. You know,
You sense the poison dart things or
you can check the traps.
nugget.
No.
Yeah.
No, send the rope.
All right, are you gonna check for more traps? Sure. All right.
You want to send a person when you send it?
Fine, I will let him carry Nugget again for good luck. And I will warn it to Nugget so that I can check for them with you. And
What
poke
if the
you in the
chicken's
side
not
of the
heavy enough
head.
to push down special?
Sure, I think could have busted the shark off and throw it down there in the dog. Just catch it.
I'm just gonna ignore you.
All right, so you're gonna check for traps. Sure. All right, you and Nugget again, scouting ahead.
I actually did bring a trap checker with me. Galen?
Stay back here.
He kind of strokes his beard. You can stand back here. Investigation.
In fact, you sit with me in the
All right.
middle of the group.
You are convinced that the rest of the hall is perfectly safe.
What did you roll?
All right, so the hallway, basically the layout of this place, the ceilings are about 10 feet high. The mosaics continue all the way down the walls, and there's a single torch mounted on the wall about every 150 feet.
But it's lit now between the light I put on him and the dancing lights.
Right, yeah.
Thank goodness. Because otherwise, your boy could not see.
Is there any writing on these mosaics and stuff like that? Or?
There's no writing. They're just a variety. Like there's like I said, a variety of different secrets.
This is pretty good.
Yeah, as a Triton, you would be able to walk down and just name every creature, no matter how bizarre it looks.
What's this?
It's that.
What about that?
That's a this.
Thanks. Thanks.
Jabberwock and Jackalope.
Right, right. Both well-known sea creatures.
Yes.
Jackalopes and Jabberwock. I feel like that should be in the name of a comic book. Right? I want to write a comic book.
Do I believe him? Yes, I do. Insight check.
Jackalope and Jabberwock. All right. Give me a nature check. Our resident druid over here. Seven total? Yeah.
Swamps are more your thing.
Yeah. He doesn't know much about shark.
Alright, so the best way to do this is to put your left hand on the wall and just keep it there. Because eventually you'll find your way to wherever you need to go. That's how it works. If you're in a maze, you'll never get lost.
As long as you keep your left hand on the wall.
Yeah. It might take a while, but you'll never get lost.
So you're keeping your left hand on the wall?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's my shield hand.
Alright, give me a perception check as your left hand drags along the wall.
Perception? With my bonus, that's a 10.
Simply comes out and just
Alright,
Bonus of -1.
with a 10, you do a good job of telling the difference between the stone and the small tiles that are used to make the mosaics. Okay, that's about what you discern with a good.
Is there any secret doors?
You can look around. I'll try to find a secret door.
See how my right hand is.
See, if you do your right hand and I do my left hand, we're just going to get circled up and messed up.
Can't let me go because that's a 9.
Oh, this is gonna go well.
Alright, so
We
no.
have to commit to one side.
Alright. So, no traps, no secret doors, you're convinced, you double check. And you go down about 40 feet down this hallway, and there's a corridor that goes to your left, or you can keep going straight.
Maybe like a Scooby-Doo peek around.
I would do that, but I can't see. Oh, I
Our
can
lights
see.
just go, yeah.
Yeah, well, keeping our left hand on the wall, we should go left.
Alright, so you guys are taking the
What do you see
turn?
down the hallway first?
Yeah, let's do the.
Alright, so-
Considering everybody knows that there's just a dancing light just flying down the hallway. So.
well, how far ahead are your dancing lights going?
They can go quite a way.
Yeah, I think they go up to 100.
Yeah, but how far down do you want them to go?
Well, most of us can't move further than 60 feet, so I'd say they go 80 feet so we can see just beyond the range of movement.
Okay. So, and you can make 4 of those lights.
Yeah, I would send 2 down each path, I think, or I would, basically let you can tell me what you want, and then I would go.
You can make them look like a person.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If he wants me to do that, if not, it's fine too.
I think we should send them down both ways. Right. But, I mean, both ways. Yeah. But just remember, don't get lost.
Okay, that's fine. I'll send you both ways.
Alright.
Alright, so the path straight ahead goes much further down, like about 60 feet down. It appears to end. You think it might also turn left down there. It's a little hard to see about 60 feet away in the dim light. The path to your left, about 10 feet down, there's a door, or an open archway. So it's another hall. And then it continues down for another 40 feet.
That's it. Let's go check out that door just to make sure we don't have any surprises.
Is it a door or is it an open door?
It's an open door, an archway.
Okay, well, same difference. It's a corner I can't see around. I don't like it.
I support that decision.
Well, now because it's gone left.
Because it's going left.
Because I am the sage-like sorcerer of wild
For
magic.
no other reason.
No, it's because I'm amazing. That's why.
You've got it.
Alright, so you reach the archway, and it opens into another hall. This one does not have the intricate mosaics down the walls, but there's still a neat row of tile that kind of about waist height lines the hall to make it decorative. But this hall takes a sharp decline. It's about 30-degree slope going down. And you realize at this point that the rest of this hall, as it goes down, goes underwater.
Oh, I say none of that. I just want the bag.
Well, yeah, we'll circle around eventually. Would you like to check the water out? Out of
I
curiosity.
have water breathing. The smell.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it.
That answers my question, I guess.
Hey, douche nozzles. I have water breathing as a spell.
I breathe water, no problem.
I'm not talking about you. Okay?
Somebody doesn't.
Yeah. The rest of us,
I said nothing.
I'll jump in there.
and it lasts for 24 hours, so
Can you hit everyone, or is it just one person?
party 10 people.
10 people. Oh, yeah. So, all right.
Might be a good idea to just, as a precaution, cast that.
I
Do you
mean,
want me to just look first?
Yeah.
What do I roll?
Perception.
I got that after nearly dying in water. I forgot to take my next spell for my level up. And then after that happened, I was like, never letting this happen again.
When did you almost drown?
Last session with the guy,
Oh, the water elements.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to
and then the druid used prayer to destroy water to
save you. All right, so you walk down the slope hallway and you dip under the water. You can swim if you want to. All right, so you swim down there. So this room is covered with green. The walls of this room are covered with green tile, and there's chunks of algae that just kind of float around the ceiling. It gives you an idea that there's probably like a little pocket of air near the top. There appears to be some sort of like cages, kind of, in the corners of this room. Empty, but these cages are fairly large. Like they're big enough to keep a large creature in. So they're about 8 feet square. These cages.
I just like
Squared or cubed?
Cubes.
so.
Do I see anything?
Sorry, 8 foot cube.
So wait, Tristan is just scouting ahead of us. That's all that he's doing. Are we? Do you want me to cast that spell now, or wait for him to come back?
What's that?
Do I notice any scales or
Yeah, you want to check it out? Give me a nature check. Alright, so you don't detect any evidence of what kind of creatures were in these cages, but you do notice that along the wall, so basically there's a cage in each corner, and then along the wall there's a group of like sea anemones and starfish, almost like someone has intentionally kind of set this aquarium-like area to kind of grow these little creatures. Almost as if maybe this was the food source for whatever was in the cages.
come back up and tell everybody if whatever is down here is in these cages, I'm in trouble.
What was it? In the cages?
Huge cages that were empty.
All right.
Big enough to hold a large creature in.
Let's hope they're still down there.
Yeah, but I'm saying now, if it's, does the room go, did I see does the room go further out, or is it just, this is all it is?
This is all it is.
Oh.
This is all
Well,
it
then
is.
it's safe to assume
They're
they're
not
not
there,
here.
yeah.
Did you see any evidence of the struggle?
Looked like,
Bloodstains or bent
looked like an aquarium set up to keep something.
Yeah, but isn't it all underwater? Why would you have an aquarium underwater?
Well, that's the best place to have an aquarium.
Yeah, dry aquariums usually a fish dies.
Well, I mean, aquarium sort of defeats the purpose if somebody underwater doesn't know. You're not just being caged.
It's like an aquarium, that's what I'm saying. It's cages and the decorations.
Did you fill it home there?
Like a big aquarium. Yeah, it was kind of like my living room. Yeah, I used to put my dogs.
His land dogs.
It'd be a great place for you to train your fighting dogs.
to the point where I'm going to cast the Green Water spell. Nugget and the dog will both be receiving something.
Alright.
What's the cast time on that?
24 hours.
No, not the duration.
Oh,
Like, how long does it take to cast?
It's an action.
Okay.
That's why I was like, when.
It's fairly safe to say if these things are around, it'll be some trouble. So your left-handed theories led us right back here.
Right, but here's the cool thing. You know, you keep your left hand on the wall, right? It takes you back to the other side.
I know, but I'm
back
saying now, so
out.
it's working.
Yeah.
And we're going the other way now.
Yep. Now we're going down the straight path,
Yeah.
which originally you suggested we go down. But we made it.
Yeah.
You know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah.
And we learned valuable information.
Yeah, we
There are giant monsters who could potentially eat us.
Yeah, it's almost just
Anyways, give me another nature check. Six.
So nine.
Alright, well this one's not nearly as complicated as the last one. You deduce, right, that if there were creatures kept underwater, right, if those creatures are still alive, then they probably swam out of that room. And with your knowledge of the swamp, being a brackish swamp connected to the sea, right? It's a salt swamp, or a salt marsh.
Giant crabs.
Based on his description of the cage, it's probably not quite big enough for those. But you realize that the tide would affect the depth of the water. So it's possible that this place could fill up with even more water, which is how the creatures would be able to come and go from that room if the water level was higher in here.
So I don't think we need to go down into the wall.
I'm a fan of not doing that. That's fine. Just because I can
Kinda
read it
curious,
doesn't mean
though,
I want to
honestly.
be in it.
It's just like that
Well,
one
there's nothing
movie I
down
saw
there
for
for you.
Well, I know,
Yeah,
but
if we
like
got
I'm
other
saying,
water, you can go first.
maybe tonight
Yeah.
is all I'm saying. Just like hop in there,
Well, there's not to say there's not another block of water here where they're hiding.
just like stick your head. All right.
Stick the hand. I like it. You're right. You're right.
See underwater.
We'll give him a flashlight.
Alright, so
And you can't see underwater either.
I know.
alright, so this room,
I want you to tell me what you see.
this room that you just found branches off of the left path. So the left path keeps going. Or you can double back to the other path that you were referring to as a straight path. Right, so the straight path would be this way, the left path would be here, and then there would be the room off to the side. Okay. So you can keep going this way, or you can go back and go that way.
Let's commit.
When you go, what do you do when your left hand hits? There'll be a gap going across, right?
Why would there be a gap going across?
Isn't there? We're going back up and you go straight down this way or straight ahead, right?
Well, I mean, if you were to keep your hand on the wall, you would have gone into the room, all the way around the room, back out, and now you would be continuing down the back.
Yeah.
Maze 101, people.
If you ever get lost in a cave
Okay. Or dungeon.
or a dungeon, even it works in real life too.
It's also good for these mirror mazes.
Keep your hand on the left wall.
Yeah.
Left hand on the wall.
Left hand on the wall.
Yeah, Joe, read all
Well,
that.
wouldn't it also work with your right hand?
Well, yeah, it would. You just have to.
As long as you're consistent.
You just have to pick one and stick with it.
Well, that's good because my left arm doesn't reach out very well.
Right.
Right. So I would want to use my right arm.
You have to keep like your shoulder against it.
Yeah. Right.
A hand on a wall and stick with it.
That's how Perseus found his way through the maze.
Because if two people use different
Personalities.
Absolutely.
We learned a lot of stuff tonight.
Wasn't Perseus the one that defeated the Medusa?
Yes.
Was he also the one in the maze?
Duh.
Wasn't his wife Eurydice?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Greece's thought?
Duh.
Why did I think it was Hercules?
My personality's great.
I thought that was Orpheus personally.
Often misquotes sacred texts and proverbs.
That would explain everything.
Oh man.
All right. So you continue down the hallway. It goes down about another 40 feet, and now there's stairs that go down into the water.
Oh boy, stairs.
We walked into the Legend of Zelda Water Temple.
I mean, they're sure.
Remember that time that I hated all of the water temples in every Zelda game? Well,
I've never played a Zelda game, so
in Majora's Mask, the game cracked out on me, and my N64 broke while I was on the water temple. And it was the hardest temple that I'd played, and it was making me miserable, and I kept dying. And I was just like, yeah, no, I'll never play another Zelda game because of this.
So
And
every time I play Ocarina of Time, I stop at Jabba Jabba's village. I just stop. Like, I've lost interest entirely in this game.
I can't. Water temple, nope. I'm done. I checked out. That's it. The end.
All right. Would you like to go check out this water room again?
Want to go for a swim fish?
You are the most qualified of us all.
That's me. It was almost Galen, but it's
Well, it wouldn't be Galen. He, of course, is going to get the water breathing as well. Right,
Yeah,
Sal?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
alright. Take a look down there.
All right. So you walk down the stairs into the water.
Swim down.
Kind of slither down the stairs.
Hopefully quietly.
Going down the water.
With that 30 still rolling.
All right.
Need to roll.
So you come into a large room. Yeah, it's quite a big room. You can go ahead and roll a perception check if you want. All right.
Nice.
All right. So you all think Tristan's a good scout because he can breathe underwater, but he's not picking up
You
anything.
can breathe, that's for sure.
He's still the most qualified.
None of us are the wiser.
I have full faith in him.
So this room looks like a banquet hall. In the middle, there are heavy wooden tables that are apparently heavy enough to be still sitting on the floor, even though the room is full of water. The tables are lined with benches, and they go all the way down the hall. The hall is about 70 feet long. Wow. It's a large and about 30 feet wide. There's also black tile on the walls in this room, and the pillars. There's multiple round pillars that stretch down the center of the room, and they're all covered in black tile as well. There's a variety of white and pink corals that grow along the ceiling. That gives you an indication that there is no pocket of air at the top of this. But beyond that, there does not appear to be anybody in the room, and your perception check kind of confirms that you don't hear or see anything else.
Really? Or you just what it seems to be?
That's what it seems to you. I mean, you're the one that rolled away.
So I'm not really sure.
No, you're not sure at all. Well, Tristan's sure. David is very doubtful.
Do I notice anything else? Like, is there stuff to look at? Or
Yeah.
water waterproof paper.
If you kind of you swim down a ways past some of the columns, there's a statue.
For the record, the stuff they found on the Titanic, that was so waterproof and it still stayed intact. Just saying.
The more you know.
Evan would be so
Oh,
proud
it's
of
a
you.
pop in the sun. Have you ever seen like the G.I. Joe voiceovers?
Don't give him a sick.
So I see a statue. Is it Triton? Do I recognize this?
Give me a religion check on this one. It's definitely some sort of shark, bipedal like shark creature.
Yeah, I showed him the corner.
All right, so this statue looks very much like the Sahuagin, this bipedal, has a shark-like face and fins down the back of its head onto its neck and back. But this particular one has 4 arms.
Awesome.
Ah. Oh, that was a good bit. I love it.
And you also recognize it as I can pronounce this. Simorina?
I would say Simwanya.
Simwanya?
That's what I
Wow,
would say.
you guys are fish racists.
Which is the deity of the Sahuagin.
I bought packs and pulled dynamite night because we already had 2.
Wild stuff.
Opposite the statue is another hallway that exits the room, and you also notice at the extreme end, all the way down the other end, there's another hallway just like the one you came in. So it's a long, narrow room that's symmetrical with a hallway that exits out each end, and then there's one that goes out to your left, opposite the statue. So the statue's on your right, there's another exit on your left, and then there's one on each end.
The arms like pointing towards one another.
They're kind of raised in triumph, like 4 closed fists.
Swim back and tell my people of the great Sahuagin Hall that's got a 4-armed shark. Any hallway.
Did you see any like elves down there?
See any elves?
As like
Like elf on a stick?
Like elf on a stick.
There was no vendor selling elf on a stick.
okay. You said a banquet hall. I just assumed.
He's a banquet hall, but he was kind of, he was clean.
Gotcha.
Sorry to dash your hopes there.
So if you're ready to go underwater for a long time, we can check.
How long is a long time? Because we kind of have a 24-hour time limit.
I don't think it's 24 hours is like, what,
It's like an
It's either like forever or no time at all. It's never a day. What do you guys think?
I mean, okay, while he's doing that, can those of us above water just investigate the area to make absolutely sure there's no secret doors or anything else that we could possibly make use of to navigate the space?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was saying, could those of us above the water, while he's doing the water investigation, make checks to see if there's anything that we can possibly look for, like secret doors or other places?
Sure, while he's underwater, yeah, you guys can do a group investigation check to kind of search
Group
things.
check. Who's gonna run this? It shouldn't really be me.
Well, you can roll, if you do a group check, there's 5 of you, so all 5 of you can roll, and as long as at least 3 of you succeed, you'll find whatever there is to find.
Okay, ready to go. What?
We're doing investigation. Or Chuck's there, right?
Chuck's there. Oh, so there's 6 of you, so.
Investigation.
Alright. Alright, so, well, that's enough just with the halfling, the red dragonborn, and the kid.
Not for nothing. Got a 17 for a card bit. Just call it what it is. One time. Honestly,
You're doing things.
I've never rolled a good investigation check this entire campaign. This is the first one.
Watch there be no secret doors.
There are none. I'm sure of
Great.
it.
You find absolutely nothing in this room.
Brad's gonna like throw in a secret room to pity us now.
Right? I think there was one other time where I actually got a nat 20 on an investigation, and that was exactly the case. There was nothing to find here.
Yep.
Yeah, there's really nothing.
Classic.
Well, you know, guys, F me, right?
Well, I did use it as an opportunity to teach you guys how group checks work.
Thank you, Jen. You know what? There's always a bright side.
There it is.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna cast air breathing or water breathing and dive in.
All right.
I'll sink, right? I'm wearing metal armor.
Yeah, you'll just walk along the bottom of the. Okay.
Because I'm not swimming with a +1 athletics and metal armor.
It is difficult terrain in the water.
So you're a hindrance.
Well, nobody else has a swim speed, so they would swim at half of their.
We're all hindrances.
But if I tie you to me, it will make up for the difference.
I believe that would work.
I'll pedal really hard.
All right. Did you include Galen in your spell casting? Because Galen offers to stay back and watch the door.
And I'm definitely.
I actually support that decision.
Oh, do you? Yeah, he's coming with us.
In fact, I feel like we should tie him to something.
I know, I thought the same thing.
Specifically you, right?
All right. So you're all breathing underwater. You swim down into this long banquet hall, and everybody give me a stealth check.
How long does pass without a trace
Are we still
last?
plus 10?
That's a good question. How long does
Oh,
pass?
that's 20, baby.
You guys are rolling 20s like if you're going out of stuff. That's another one. That's 3. On top of the 4 you've already rolled as a group tonight.
Up to 1 hour.
Up to 1 hour. Okay, so you're still covered by your pass without the trace spell.
It's a 30 and a 21.
Alright. So 28, but you're still protected by the pass without trace spell from the druid.
Did I just literally turn invisible? I need a religion.
Can you cast that spell?
Sadly.
Because he can.
Because I can.
But I'm good enough that I'm sure it's
I
not
wonder
that
in
difficult
water
for you
though,
to
we
do.
probably see ripples.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Shogwins have like blind sense underwater anyways.
Or at least really good sense of smell.
Yeah, it makes sense. Whatever. I say Shogwins because I don't feel like trying to
You
pronounce
say it's a hot one.
Potato tomato.
Alright, so you're all very stealthily swimming as a group under the water here. And
Alright, Chuck's looking around. He's like, is there any good drink under here?
It sure is, buddy. Water.
I wouldn't drink this water.
pretty sure the sharks be in it.
Salt water, right? Will die.
Well, it's salty swamp water.
You will get dysentery.
You will die.
You die.
Before dehydration.
Have you guys seen Mean Girls?
Yeah.
Do not have sex. If you do, you will get cancer and die.
We remember Oregon Trail, right? They were running died in dysentery.
Alright, so what's everybody's passive perception?
9.
So
What is that?
it would be 10 plus your perception skill.
Or minus.
12?
14.
Oh, I got you.
14? All right, so those of you who have a 14,
9.
was Tim the only one with a 14? No, it was Tristan.
I had a 14.
Okay, yeah, so Tristan should be high as a clear. All right, so the three of you can make out the sound of voices coming from the hallway to your left.
No, ironically, that's where we're going.
You see me?
I'm like, because I can't communicate underwater. Wait, with water breathing, can I cast spells underwater?
That's a good question. I actually need to look into that because
You're on fire.
You're really gonna get your knife practice in.
Yeah, because that's super relevant to a couple of us.
Yeah.
A lot of non-verbal spells happening here.
to be honest, it doesn't say.
I would say just for for ease of gameplay, not to nerve you guys. If you're got water breathing caps on yourself, you'll be
I
able
can always hit things.
your verbal components won't quite sound the same, but
Sal's gonna get real good with that dagger.
I really do hit hard. I might hit harder than the barbarian.
You got that back weapon, don't you?
Yeah, I might hit harder than the barbarian, honestly.
I could go for damage or attack.
I know my bonus to hit is higher than yours.
It depends on the weapon I got.
Yeah, I've got a +3, I've got a +7 bonus.
What?
Yeah.
He's got the back weapon.
but he's rolling 2d6, so he's got 2d6 plus 3. You got 1d6 plus
Usually
7.
2d6 and it depends on the
About the
weapon.
same. All right.
He's got rage though. I do not.
Yeah, with his rage, he's at 2d6 plus 5.
That's it, I would rather not.
So Tristan, being the fact that Tristan lived underwater versus most of life, I'm sure he's pretty good at water charade, so he's like telling you, you get it. That there's people.
Okay.
Still not getting it, huh? He takes you over, there's got to be a statue or a shark.
All right, the same wavelength. So there's about a 30-foot hallway.
On the left.
Right. Okay. So if you leave the room on the hallway to your left, it goes down about 30 feet, and there's another room down there where the voices seem to be coming from. And it seems to be a pretty heated conversation between a pair of people.
I'm gonna get closer and check it out because I am so stealthy.
Yeah, 30 stuff. Can I hear him? I must be able to use a working ball.
Yeah, for you as a Triton, you can actually make out what they're saying underwater.
What do they say?
Well, you listen in for a while as Sal kind of lurks around behind you.
I'm gonna nod like I understand that. Yeah.
Those elf ears.
Yeah.
So you hear what sounds like somebody who's in charge talking to somebody who's very, very offended by something that somebody else said. And it seems to be petitioning the person in charge to do something about this offense that was committed by this third party. And as their conversation kind of trails, comes to a pause, another voice joins the conversation, which, as a noble, you quickly discern is some sort of underling, somebody that would be beneath you. Probably a guard, or a servant maybe. And they say, "Sire," and report that the enemy forces forces have gathered and are marching upon their position.
So we're assuming that this is the king.
This very well could be the leader of the shark people in this room.
And there's only 3 of them.
Boy, it's time to
Or do I see
register.
more?
There's 3 that you hear. Are you going to get close enough to see?
I have a 30 stealth. I should be able to walk right up next to the guy.
All right.
As he rolls up 31 perception.
All right, so you're going to swim a little closer and see. All right, so there's, this appears to be a throne room. It looks more elaborate, more expertly tiled than all the other rooms you've been in. Again, there's colorful tiles all on the walls of this room. There's a large throne in the jaws of some like mammoth shark sits behind the throne.
Like a megalodon?
Like a megalodon, like this like 6 foot wide.
Not a mammoth shark, because those don't exist.
Well, in D&D, megalodons don't exist. Mammoth sharks do.
Gotcha. Does it have tusks?
Of course it does.
It's just the
Does
jaw.
now.
Snaggle teeth.
Now we're throwing the gore stat to the stat block.
Do I see anything that looks like those things or something that could have fit those people?
You do, actually. So there appears to be some rather large-looking Sahuagin, right, sitting on the throne with a giant shark maw behind him. So it's just the jaw of the shark that's been removed and kind of decorates the throne. There's the other person you assume who had the grievance is kind of standing / swimming next to the Baron who's sitting on the throne. And then there's 2 guards in the room, and then there's one maybe servant or guard that just entered. And
Baby shark on the way to.
so there's a total of 5 Sahuagin in the room, and then
Where's a bard when you need one?
at either end of this throne room, kind of up and in the corners, swimming in circles, there's a shark at each end. So essentially, there's 5 Sahuagin and 2 sharks in the room.
The sharks are what I think was in there.
It'd be a pretty good guess of what was in these cages.
How close is everybody within a certain...
You said there was a. I know I'm not there. You said there was a megalodon?
Megalodon.
Or is it just the jaws?
Just the jaws.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just the jaws that decorate the throne area, as if the jaws were about to chomp down on the throne. Kind of behind and around the throne. So
How many people are within 10 feet?
the person who probably had the grievance, and then the servant who entered the room to tell them about the invaders. The guards are about 20 feet away from the throne, and the sharks are in the opposite corners.
I like how I designed a fire character
For
water.
water?
Don't you worry, I feel it.
So we
Magical
figured out
fire,
you
it'll still
can cast. Does fire still work?
Magical fire.
Okay. It's important information to know.
So the room itself is about 70 feet long and about 40 feet across.
How far is the king?
The king's on the throne, so he's about 35 feet from you as you're kind of lurking by the door.
How far is everybody else? These guys, my part.
Oh, they're about 20 feet behind you.
It's still the banquet hall, I think, right?
Yeah, so you guys are at the exit of the banquet hall looking down the hallway, and he's at the other end of the hallway looking in.
They can see me though, right?
Yeah, they can see you.
But I'm with Tristan.
So,
Oh, yeah, it sounds up there.
So I thought, yeah, so I just waved at the line. And I cast Shadow right at the king.
All right, and that's where we'll leave it tonight. We'll pick up next week with the battle against the Baron of the Sahuagin.
All right.
I've officially finished my character sketch.
super big everywhere still. Thank you everyone so much for watching. We all appreciate you.
Yep.
Guidance is so
Thank you,
good.
Gilded Pelican for following. I think I touch him. Thank you guys in chat for joining us. If you like this stuff, tune in every day of the week. We got something for every day for our board game night. What else do I have?
Thank you for watching our Dungeons & Dragons Adventurers League. Want to see more? Make sure to hit the subscribe button and bell to know the next time we post to YouTube. Join in on the fun on our live stream at twitch.tv/CapeFearGames. And check out our website, capefeargames.com, for all your gaming needs. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.